Hi guys, welcome back to Econ Time with SK. So grab your notebooks, your favorite cup of coffee, and let's get started. Okay, so in this video, we are going to be looking at the production possibility frontier and see the relationship between PPF and opportunity cost. We had already introduced that concept in the last video, so we're going to continue with that here in greater detail. So here's a recap, okay? And the best way always to deal with a lot of concepts in economics is just to draw them. Let's just draw this PPF for ourselves. So in the example we were using, the economy, let's say, produces only two goods, rice, so agriculture good, and then RMG, which is manufacturing good. Okay. Now, this is what this PPF looks like. So let's pick a point, A. Okay. And then let's pick another point, D. Okay. So let's say that the economy is initially, so প্রথমে economy-টা হলো এখানে. Okay, so being at A essentially means that it's producing this combination, it's utilizing all of its resources, and that's why it's on the PPF. And let's say it's just producing this combination of rice and RMG. So I believe this was 600, and let's say at D, it is 700. And then here, let's say this is 2200, let's say this is 2000. Okay, so basically let's say this economy, it wants to move from A to D, right? It wants to move from A to D. Now the reason could be that the government feels that it wants to reallocate resources, it wants to have heavier presence in manufacturing sector, it maybe wants to export, and that's what we had for our country. We actually invested a lot of our resources in the 90s. So, and now at one point we were the tailors of the world, right? So our ready-made garments products end up in a lot of international brands, ranging from, at Walmart to basically even Zara and Mango, right? So let's say the government just decides it's going to put more resources into manufacturing. So, right, so the government's aim is it's going to produce more RMG. Now, if it decides that it's going to increase production of RMG, in this case 600 to 700, so that's it's going to increase RMG production by 100 units. In that case, remember, it's already using up all of its resources, so কোনো extra resource isn't lying around anywhere. Okay, সবকিছু ইউটিলাইজ হচ্ছে, সবকিছু ইউজ হচ্ছে in the production of rice অথবা RMG, so কোনো unemployed resources নেই just lying around there. So in this case, when the economy decides that it's going to produce more RMG, what needs to be done is resources that were being used for rice production, that now needs to be shifted to the RMG sector. So তার মানে the economy has to give up the production of rice to some extent. So what does it do? In order to reach to D, it has to give up rice production by how much? By, in this case, we've given the example, it's going to be by 1200 units. Okay, the example could have been different in wait, what's happening here? Oh, sorry, my bad. It's by 200 units. Okay, so that's the scenario. So basically, to produce more RMG, the country is giving up some rice production. So the minute you're seeing this giving up happening, essentially this is the concept of opportunity cost. Okay, so what have we seen thus far? On the production possibility firm, in the discussion of the production possibility frontier, we've already discussed scarcity. Right? Where did we discuss scarcity? We said, you know what, you can't produce anywhere out here because resources are scarce. So the economy doesn't have enough land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, or technology to be out here. And now we're seeing that the shape of the PPF, once you're on the PPF, in order to move from point A to point B to point C, to move to any point on the PPF, the concept of opportunity cost comes into the picture. And again, how else are we seeing this concept of scarcity? That's also, so opportunity cost is sort of like intertwined. It's very closely related to scarcity. So we're also seeing scarcity. যে A থেকে D তে যখন move করছে, the economy cannot produce both A and D, right? So it has to make a choice. Right? Because it can't continue producing that high amount of rice and at the same time increase RMG production. And that's where you're also seeing scarcity, right? There's scarcity of resources. All the resources are actually being fully utilized. So if the economy moves from A to D, because of scarce resources, it has to give up one in order to produce more of another. Okay, moving forward now, let's figure out a way to calculate opportunity cost, okay? And this is where I'm going to reintroduce the unitary method to you guys. You've seen this before, okay? Maybe you've seen this like ঐকিক নিয়ম যেটা বলা হয়. Okay, so unitary method, you can actually identify the opportunity cost. You can calculate the opportunity cost using the PPF. So এখানে কি দেখানো হচ্ছে? So let's say you're moving from A to D. So if you're moving from A to D, you're producing 100 more units of RMG. How? Remember, you're basically going from, this 100 is coming from 700 minus 600. So diagram में देखो, when you're moving from A to D, you're moving from 600 units of RMG to 700 units of RMG. So when you're moving there, you're increasing RMG production by 100, right? So when you are producing 100 more units of RMG, what you're doing, you're giving up 200 units, so 2200 minus 2200 units of rice. ঐকিক নিয়ম হলো, because this is very hard to compare. Let's say you had two PPF, two different countries. How would you compare their opportunity cost? Okay, to bring about comparability, you take it to terms of one. So you're saying that to produce one more unit of RMG, you're going to give up 200 divided by 100, so 2 units of rice. So in terms of one, it is comparable across different countries if you wanted to figure out their opportunity cost, which you are going to have to do when we go into trade and specialization. Okay, so essentially the opportunity cost of 1 unit of RMG is 2 units of rice. এই ক্যালকুলেশনটা খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এটা তোমাদের প্রবলেম সেটে তো আছেই, কুইজের জন্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট, and মিডটার্মে অবশ্যই আসবে। So do not ignore this. This is a very easy way in which you can get points, so do not ignore this part. Number one. Number two, whenever I'm asking you to do math, I'm also, or you know, even any answer that you're doing, it's very important that you follow some logical flow. So এখানে দেখো, I have done, I would say there are 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, so you do have to get full credit, you need to write all 3 steps for me. Otherwise, you're going to get partial credit. Okay, so this is how you calculate opportunity cost using the PPF. Let's actually do another example since we are here. Okay, so let's pick these points. Let's call this F, let's call this G. All right, so yeah, so let's say, okay, so let us say that this is, okay, so let's say this is a move from 880 to 900. All right, so you're increasing RMG production by 20 units. Okay, so now let's calculate this. So we are saying that when you are moving from F to G, the economy is moving from F to G to produce, so to produce 20 more units of RMG. তোমার এখানে মেনশন করতে হবে যে 20 more units কোত্থেকে আসছে, right? 20 more units essentially means 900 minus 880. So to produce 20 more units of RMG, how much is the economy giving up? You're basically giving up, let's see, 700 minus 500. 700 minus 500, let's say, units of rice, right? So 200 rice, which means, let's take it in terms of one, to produce one more unit of RMG, you are giving up 200 divided by 20, right? So 10 units of rice. তার মানে আমরা কি বলছি? We are saying that opportunity cost of 1 unit of RMG is 10 units of rice. Okay, so we are seeing that again. You see, I have done step 1, step 2, step 3, and this is what is going to give you full credit. The reason I emphasize on these 3-step method is because then there's this logical flow. তুমি আমাকে just directly বলে দিচ্ছ না opportunity cost of RMG is this, because you need to explain to me opportunity cost আসলে মানে কি. When you're saying opportunity cost, what do you mean by it? So that's where it's like, the word give up is showing up. You're saying যে দেখো এটা বেশি প্রডিউস করলে এটা আমার give up করতে হচ্ছে. All of that element is there when you're writing it out in detail. Okay, so that ends our discussion on how we can use unitary method to calculate the opportunity cost using the PPF. I'm going to end this video here, and then in the next discussion, we are going to look at why opportunity cost increases as you're moving rightwards, right? As the country is going more towards producing RMG, you can see that the opportunity cost actually increases. And we show that by calculation, right? Because initially when we were calculating, when we were calculating our opportunity cost in this region, we saw that the opportunity cost here was opportunity cost of 1 RMG is 2 rice. But by the time we are in this region, we are seeing that the opportunity cost of 1 RMG is 10 rice. So basically we are seeing that the opportunity cost has increased as produce more RMG. So in the next discussion, essentially, we're going to try and understand this phenomena. Why is it that as the country decides to shift more of its resources towards RMG production, the opportunity cost goes up and up and up? Okay. All right, guys, I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.